Yo, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to La Pura Neta Show. This week, we sit down with Antonio Chavez, a real estate agent, fix and flipper, and fitness enthusiast, with one of the most inspiring comeback stories we've heard. Antonio not only helps people find their dream homes, but also runs his construction crew and continues to build his own projects from the ground up. What really stands out about Antonio is his humility and growth. After spending time in prison, he made a powerful decision to completely turn his life around through hard work, discipline, and faith. He's built a new path for himself, one filled with purpose, success, and inspiration. Help me welcome the one and only Antonio Chavez.
Bro, that shit sounds good.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, bro. It's really cool to be here. And yeah, bro, honestly, from thinking back how my life is now, from where I was growing up, it's like I'm living a life that I never thought I could live. You know what I mean? And I think it's really God, because it's not like I had a blueprint on my life. It's not like I wrote down exactly what I wanted to do. It was none of that, bro. It was more like God kept pushing me in these directions through failures, I think, and making mistakes.
Yeah.
And my mom's prayers. I think my mom used to pray for us all the time, bro. And it was 6 boys and 2 girls. And like, we grew up in South Central, nothing but gangs there. My 2 older brothers were drug dealers. Like, I shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Sorry. And then messing around, gangbanging, and drug dealing, and then ended up going to prison for 10 years. It's those directions, like those like failures, I guess, or challenges, started making me change little by little. You know? So I feel like not until I really went to prison and I had time to think, that it really changed my life. Because you have nothing but time to think in it, you know? And when I first got arrested and I was facing the time I was facing, I'm like, I'm gonna be here for a long time, bro. Like, I didn't even think about anything. It was just like I'm done. That was it. Like, my life is over. That's what I was thinking, you know? And like, you grow up in there, and then little by little, like, I educated myself in there, because I dropped out like in 7th grade, you know?
Wow.
And in there I was reading a lot. I got my GED. I was writing a lot of letters. So little by little I started educating myself. And through there I met a lot of good people. And then I started figuring out that the person I wasn't helping me at all. So I had to change. Either that or I was in the back in there. And I think what really struck me, bro, is like, before I got out, like a month before I got out, some dude, he had just came into the prison. Because like every once in a while you get buses of people coming in, right? And this guy came in, and I knew this guy. I'm like, I know him from somewhere. And when he seen me, he was like, what's up, fool? I'm like, where do I know you from? He's like, you don't remember? When you first came in here, I was leaving. That shit, bro, hit my stomach, like, oh, because I'm like, I'm leaving after doing 10 years. The thought of me coming back, and they gave him a 10 this time. They gave him 10 years. He had done 5 first time. I'm like, the thought of me coming back doing 10 years, I'm like, never again, bro. I think I needed to meet him on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I think God put him there to say, like, this is how it's going to feel if you come back in. And that really changed my life. You know? Besides all the stuff I did in there, and I think one thing that really helped me it's called the RDAP program. So it's drug rehabilitation. But they don't talk about drugs. It's more like LifeWorks or Landmark. I don't know if you guys ever did Landmark or anything.
Yes. Well, I haven't done it, but I heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they really just like change the way you think. So like, for example, they would talk to us about love, right? You think that you sold drugs to help your family because you love them and all this stuff. But in reality, like, you selling drugs put you in here and you hurt your family. Like, them coming in here to see you and crying, you know what I mean? See my mom cry, see, that shit hurt me. So I'm like, it's true. You know, that's not love. Because if you're putting yourself in a situation that's going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt the people that love you. So just little stuff like that, they started really helping me understand, like, the way I think is wrong, right? And I did that for 10 months. So it was like 10 months of Landmark that we did. And wow. Danny was in there too.
Yeah.
Danny did it after I did it. And it's crazy because when I first went into that program, I feel like they're trying to brainwash me. I just went in there because they were going to give me a year off, you know? I'm like, cool, I'm going to get a year off. I'm going to do it.
You got to do whatever you do.
And all the guys that were going through the program that I knew, like, towards the end, they were different, bro. Like, they thought different. I'm like, this fucking dude, right? Thinks all that. I just felt like, oh, it's just bullshit, right? And I'm like, I'm going to do it because they're going to give me the year. And then going through the program, my mind was fighting it. I was like, they're trying to brainwash me, you know what I mean?
Your ego, right?
Yeah, my ego, right? They're trying to brainwash me, you know, I ain't no snitch, I'm not going to be telling on people right here, like, what the fuck are they doing? I just didn't understand the program. Mm-hmm. So, but no matter what, I said, no matter what, I'm not going to quit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just, fuck it, I'm going to go through it. And something happened midway through the program when my mind just clicked. Like, it was just like a click. Like I could see now.
It was an aha moment.
Yeah, like an aha moment. I'm like, fuck. Like, the way I've been living my life has been wrong. And I didn't see it that way. Because of that program, I would have went back in there, bro. Like, it changed my life. Ever since then, I started reading more books on self-development, like hanging around Danny more, hanging around people that were doing good stuff. Yeah. And then joining the mastermind with you guys, it's like, it really, like, changed my life. But none of that would have happened if I would have went into that program, you know, because I didn't have any role models growing up. My role models weren't good, you know. So once you grow up thinking a certain way and idolizing certain people, like, you make, like, bad decisions going up because your judgment's off, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I feel like that program really helped me, bro. And ever since then, when I got out, little by little, I started going in the right direction.
So you covered a lot of ground, but let's take it a little bit back, bro. What part of South Central you guys were raised?
Gage in Vermont. So Florencia, 13 Locos were there. Six Dudes Brim, Harvard Park.
Yeah.
And 5-8 Crip. They were like, all those three gangs were like in a 2-block radius.
Oh, wow. Damn.
All three of them.
So there was a lot of violence going on.
A lot of violence. A lot of drug dealing too.
Damn. And so, I'm assuming you kind of got in there, in your teens, kind of like, you know, messing around, you know, probably nickel and diming, and then eventually it went.
Well, this is the thing. Like, growing up, my dad was an alcoholic, right? So he used to beat my mom all the time. So my mom, like, she was trying to survive versus really take care of her kids. Like, she would look after us, but she couldn't. It was too many of us, you know what I mean? Like, I got caught ditching in the 2nd grade, bro.
How many was the 2nd grade?
Yeah, I was hanging around with my older brothers and their older friends. Like, that's why I grew up around, you know? And they fucking went ditching one day. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go with you. And they're like, nah, fool, stay in school. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I went. And we ended up getting busted and shit, you know? And so that's like, I grew up like that, you know? 6 brothers, 2 sisters. 1 brother passed away. Okay. I have the oldest other brothers doing 30 years in prison.
So, I mean, that's kind of like your pattern. That was that said to go on that route, and you kind of did until you chose to change, right?
Yeah. And I think, you know how Tony Robbins says, you change through pain or pleasure? Mm-hmm. And that's what happened with me. Like, when I was selling drugs at 14, I was getting high too. Like, smoking Primos and all that shit, doing PCP. Like,
at 14?
At 14, bro. 13, 14, I was doing that. And every time I would do it, I would feel bad after. Like, what am I doing? I'm gonna fucking end up in the street. Like, I could end up in the street, bro. A lot of people I grew up with, I seen them, like, end up in the street because of drugs and shit, you know? I could have easily ended up in the street or dead. And again, I feel like that goes back to my mom's prayers. You know what I mean? She used to pray for us. But yeah, bro, like, I ended up, like, the last time I did drugs when I was a kid, like really hard drugs like that, I remember crying in a room after I got high. Because I'm like, I don't want this for me, and I don't know how to stop it.
Like, deep down you knew
deep
that
down
was
I didn't want to, but
yeah.
But being around all these people, partying, and a lot of these dudes were smoking PCP and smoking fucking, not crack on a pipe, I never did that, but putting crack in weed. Primos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I think that last time I did it, it really, like, I really sat down and was crying, bro. I'm like, this is not who I want to be, you know? And I feel like God hears you when you cry. Like, when you're hurting, I feel like God hears you. And my brother got out of prison. So my brother that went to prison when I was, I think, 12 years old. No, how old was I? I think I was 11. when he went
He's
to
older,
prison.
you said, right?
Yeah, so the one that passed away. So he started drug dealing at 16. And he started taking care of us because they kicked my dad out of the house.
Okay.
And with 6 siblings and just my mom, who's going to pay the bills, you know?
Yeah.
So he started drug dealing at 16 and he started paying the bills. He started paying the bills. He started giving us money for school. Like, he was the one.
It was the dad of the house, right?
He was the dad of the house. So when he went to prison, and then when he got out, how old was I? I was like 16 when he got out. So when he got out, that changed my life because we all went back to Mexico where he was at.
Yeah.
And he started giving us money. Like, being in prison, because he had a lot of influential friends that had a lot of money.
Yeah.
They used to give him money and he used to give it to us. And I think that changed my life. So that got me out of the streets and out of LA, South Central, because we all had to go to Mexico. We had no more money. We were just done, you know?
Yeah.
So we went and started living over there with relatives. And then when he got out, he started taking care of us again. So it moved me out of that area.
Oh, okay.
And it brought me into a different area, which is Mexico, being around good people, being around family again, being around people that love you. But I was still, now it was like drug dealing to a higher level.
To a higher level.
Yeah. Now you're talking about like a lot of stuff, right? So that changed my life as far as like we have money again. I had my own place. Like, I started doing well, but in the wrong direction.
In the wrong
again.
direction, yeah.
So that took me out of the street of gangs and getting high, but it put me on the path of now I'm making money the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and endangering my life.
So in essence, you could almost see it from like you went from really bad to also worse, because although the commodities were nice, but now you're like risking your life and well, you were here too, but now it's like you're really transporting on a bigger scale. Right?
Yeah, and it got to a point where, like, I was always careful, but bro, there were so many stories, like guys I knew that they would take drugs to make a deal, and people they didn't really know, and they would die, but they would kill them. Like, walking into an apartment, they have 5-6 kilos of cocaine, and boom, killed them all, bro. Smoked them, took everything, and just, like, you would hear stories like that all the time.
So my Scarface scene, remember?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like crazy shit, like things you wouldn't think of. Like, I would have never thought of doing that to anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people out there, it's real, bro. Like, and that started like pushing me away from trusting people. But I got to a point where, like, I had a semi, so I started moving work out of town, and it started going really well for me.
This is you still living in Mexico or here?
This is me transitioning from Mexico now living here. My brother couldn't come back over here.
Oh yeah.
So he was living in TJ.
And
So through his connections and him, I started doing everything here.
Okay. And about how old were you then?
I was about 18, 17, 18 when I started doing that. And then a lot of the people I grew up over here, the very few that started doing well, they were also selling drugs. And they were also doing well. So the stuff I was getting from Mexico, I was fucking selling it to them, and then other people I knew. So little by little, you start, you know, it's like anything. Like, you start making more money. But you know what the crazy thing, bro? Like, even when I was doing that and doing well, I still didn't feel right. Like, something deep down inside was telling me, like, this is wrong. You know, like, I didn't want that life. And the crazy thing is, like, when I got to a point where I didn't want it and I don't know how to get out of it, I got on my knees, bro, and I lit a candle and I prayed to God to change my life. And 2 weeks later, I get arrested. Just like that. And I didn't know why that was happening to me. I was asking God, like, why are you doing this to me? Like, I asked you to help me. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that was going to be the biggest blessing in my life, because it took me out of everything. It took me out of any drug dealers, any gangs, anybody. It just took me out of the life I had to a different life. And it separated me 10 years from everything.
Wow.
Where I had to start over again.
So sorry to cut you out there, but to, like, more for the audience, right? You're saying that you prayed, you didn't want to do that. Why though? Like, what? Because there's people who are doing it now, and they don't have those feelings. They don't care. They're just going for it and just looking at the next deal, at the bigger stack of money, bigger drugs, whatever it is. But they're not having that feeling. Why was talking to your mom or your sisters, or I don't know, maybe someone who was not in that world, talking to them, trigger that in you, or it was just a feeling that came out naturally from you?
No, it was. I think because I was so worried all the time when I was drug dealing. It's like I was worried about getting robbed. I was worried about
getting busted.
the cops following me. I was worried about people paying me that owe me money. I was worried about I have to pay people that I owe money to. Like you're worried all the time. So it's like it's a life of stress, like every day, bro. And all my dreams were getting arrested or getting killed. Like that was because my mind was always on that.
Yeah.
Very few times I could really say that I really enjoyed the money, but most of it was really like just stressing, really. And I think it came from that, and it came from losing friends. It came from losing money. Like, bro, I lost me and a partner of mine. In one deal, we lost. It was like $2 million. In one deal, we sent stuff, and it got there. But the guy that they gave it to out there, the guys who had working out there, they gave it to somebody else, and the guy got busted and he snitched. So when they went back to the apartment that he got the stuff from, everything was there. So they took everything. They arrested everybody that was there. So, like, and then we had to start over
So
again.
now you owe this money, right?
No, that was ours.
No,
So we had made it, yeah.
Oh,
We had made the money. We bought
all your
it.
profits was there.
Yeah, we bought everything with our own money. And because, we weren't worried about it getting there because we had the semi and, we did everything legally that way. We just got too confident. Like, we bought all that stuff for our own stuff and then our own money, and then that happened. And I was just like, fuck, we got to start all over again. So I think all that really, like, at the end, a lot of people were getting busted. A lot of people owed me money. Like, it was getting too stressful, where I just, like, I didn't want that life anymore.
Yeah, piggybacking on what you said, do you think that you had that sense of, like, desperation that you got on your knees and you prayed? Was it because you were sober? Because a lot of people, like you said, they can't get out of it because they get also consumed with the drug, right? So they're numb to the feeling of, like, I don't want this life. Do you think at that?
I wasn't doing drugs, bro.
They're
Yeah.
also they get high.
It had a lot to do with that I knew deep down that wasn't right. I didn't want that life anymore. I just didn't want it. I was so tired of it. And so many years of doing it and ups and downs, some inside of me was like, I gave up. Like I don't know how to get out of it. Like, help me. Like one of those,
Yeah.
Like you're drowning. You just want someone to help you, And yeah, bro, like 2 weeks later I get arrested. And then that's where the beginning of where my life started changing.
Before you get arrested, what is some advice you would tell those people out there who are actually maybe going through what you went through, right? Who want to change, but that's how they know. What's an advice you would give them?
The one advice I can give you is, if you don't change your life, two things are gonna happen. You're gonna be a prisoner. You're gonna die. And you're gonna hurt a lot of people on the way. If you die, you're gonna hurt everybody in your life. If you go to prison, you're gonna hurt them too. And honestly, bro, a lot of times if I would have just actually went to school or got a good job and got a career, I would have been way better off than all the money I made and lost. Because you can lose so much money easy. Like, it's so easy to lose money. So I think for them, first of all, you just have to get sober. Because a lot of times you're partying, bro. When you got easy money and you're young, you're partying. You're blind. You don't see anything. But just know it's gonna end that way. Either you're gonna die or you're gonna live in prison. And maybe some people they need to go to prison to learn, like I did. No matter how many times I talked to someone that told me not to do that, I didn't listen. I think I needed to go to jail, and I think I learned a lot from my failures. I believe that. Now when I go through something, to me I see it like a blessing. Like, okay, what am I gonna learn from this? Because I'm gonna learn something. So now it's more, I see it like, okay, I'm gonna learn something from it.
So take us to your prison years. You said it was 10 years, or?
Yeah, they gave me 10. I ended up doing like 8 years. 8 years and 2 months or something.
Okay. And I think you said obviously you joined the program and it was good. You know, I'm pretty sure you have like big homies over there who look out for you.
Yeah.
You know, did you have any like people who looked out for you through the process because they know, especially like the older homies, they kind of like, hey, just get out of here, this shit. You know, just fix your life. You know, did you guys have any mentors there within prison?
Yeah, you know what's funny, bro? Because when I first got in there, you see movies, you're like, oh, people want to fight all the time or problems or get shanked. It's nothing like that. Like, people that end up fighting in there is because you're doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? Like, you're disrespecting people, or you stole somebody's stuff, or someone warned you already and you're not listening, or you're gambling. Like, that's how people get hurt in there. But everyone I met in there, especially lifers, they just want to do their time in peace. And a lot of guys that are going home, they want to do their time and go home. And lifers, they're spending the rest of their life in prison, bro. They don't want problems. Like, they stay away from people. Like, they have the routine. They read. They program. You know, a lot of them they draw. They do a bunch of stuff. You know, and that's how they survive in there. They'll draw and they'll make stuff. They'll sell it in there to buy food. But a lot of the guys I talked to, they were just very peaceful. They just didn't want no problems. You know, and you learn a lot about respect in there, a lot, and that helped me too. But the people I was closest to it's just different people. There was like lawyers in there. There was
really
there was lawyers.
What type of prison did you guys go? Or that you go?
It was a federal prison.
A federal prison?
Yeah.
In Cali?
Different. I went to 5 different federal prisons.
5 different?
Yeah. That was in California, and then they sent me to Arizona. They sent me to 2 different prisons in Arizona, and then they sent me to a prison in Taft.
Okay, I know which one. Yeah.
And then I ended up back at the first prison I was in.
And these are what, like levels?
The highest level I was at a low.
Okay.
Yeah, I started because I wasn't a violent criminal. So if you're not violent, you're under 10 years.
And you got busted with like distribution or conspiracy of distribution?
Conspiracy. So the guy I sent with work from here to Chicago got busted. He snitched on me. So I didn't have anything when they arrested me, but it was him. I told him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they needed to give someone so he could cut a deal, right?
Yeah, they gave him, bro. He had 10 kilos of cocaine and a gun. Like that shit. The gun was mine. It was his. I don't know why he took it, but they busted him with that shit, and he ended up getting 36 months, and I got 120 months, which is 10 years.
For conspiracy. Conspiracy's worse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Danny Navarro, same thing, right? Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Oh.
What were your thoughts going to all the prison to prison? Like, I know the program helped you shape your mindset, the focus.
I actually liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, because a lot of guys that did a lot of time in there, like, when I went in and I was like, damn, I got to do 10 years, there was guys that had to do 20, 15, 30. Mm-hmm. So you don't feel that bad. You're like, fuck, I got 10. Like, I'm going to get out sooner than they are. So you actually feel better when you talk to people in there, And they would tell me, they're like, bro, if you could break up your time, break it up. Like, if you could go somewhere else, do 2 years and go somewhere else. Do another 2 years, go somewhere else. So you start breaking up your time because you're going into a new place. Mm-hmm. So by the time you get used to it, you got your routine already. You're already been there for a little bit. Like, it's about 2 years. Yeah. So every time you break it up, it goes by a little faster. So every time they would ship me somewhere else, I'm like, cool, fuck it, whatever.
And I know you got into fitness in the gym, in prison.
No, before I got locked up. Yeah.
Oh, really? You were already in it?
I was chubs, bro, until I was like, I think I was like 18.
Okay.
And then an older friend of my brother's that passed away, he's been a fitness buff forever. Like, he put girls on Olympia stages and all that shit. And he trained a lot around Jay Cutler and all these fucking, like, OG guys. Yeah. He knew a lot of them. He just never competed because he didn't want to, but he trained a lot of people. He knew a lot. And he started training me when I was like 17, 18.
Oh, okay.
And it's not like I wanted him to train me. It's like I started losing weight on my own. And he used to buy dough for me. So when I used to go take him stuff, I was like, hey, bro, I'm on a diet. I'm doing this. And he's like, you're doing all that shit wrong. He's like, this is how you're going to do it. And he started helping me. And then I moved into the complex he was in. He lived in Anaheim Hills. So there was like apartments for rent.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving into one of those where he was at. And then I used to go to the gym with him every day. So that's where it started for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I went to prison, I already knew it. Like, I knew the knowledge. I knew what to do. So I just kept going, you know, when I was in there.
Oh,
so,
shit.
I mean, that was a part of me. I've been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I still slip. I still eat shit I shouldn't be eating, and you know what I mean. It's
part of the process, I guess. Any out of well, I mean, because we're going by parts, right? Pre prison, during prison, and then post. Any advice during prison? Because again, for you thought it was fine or whatever, but everyone sees things differently, right? Maybe for someone else, they think that's it. Like they break mentally, knowing that they are going to prison.
I think what prison taught me the most, bro, is that your mind adapts to anything, bro. Things that I didn't think I was gonna survive, I survived them, and they actually became normal. So like I went to the hole for like almost a little over 4 months.
Really?
Yeah, I got in trouble for some. It wasn't even my fault. It wasn't, because later on they removed the penalty they hit me for.
Yeah.
But during the investigation, I was in the hole 4 months, bro. Like I was in there in a little cell. It's probably like, I don't know, 6x3 cell.
God damn.
And all you have in there is your bunk beds and your toilet. You know what I mean? So, and then they only give you a shower like 3 times a week. So every other day you're taking a shower. So like you learn how to do a lot of stuff in there on your own, and like help your mind shift.
They don't even give you like a 10-minute in the sun.
They give you an hour a day of rec time, but it's usually 5 a.m. So they knock on your door at 5. If you don't get up, they'll go to the next hour. They're like, rec time. They'll knock on your door, and you already know. They'll give you time to get up. Rec time. They're knocking on everybody's door. And then they come back, you know, like handcuffing everybody. And if you don't get up, then that's it.
You're screwed, yeah.
That's
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I wasn't there alone for a while, bro. I felt like I felt like I wasn't there for 2 months by myself before they put a cellmate in there with me. But within those 2 months, you feel like you want to talk to somebody. Like you just want to have a conversation with anybody, bro. Yeah. Like your mind is just like, you need to have like some kind of human contact. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I was writing a ton of freaking letters. Every day I was writing, reading, just that's all I was doing. But I wanted to talk to somebody. And when they put this guy they put in my cell, I knew him from the other place I was at.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So I was talking to him. Man, bro, the first night we probably talked all night. You know what I mean? Just like talking, because I haven't had, you know, a conversation with anybody. You know?
Wow.
But after all, you got used to it. You know, it's like, it is what it is. And then they ship me to somewhere else. You know? But that surprised me about the mind. Your mind can adapt to anything. At first, it's hard, but you know, once you accept it, you're okay.
Acceptance, that's hard for a lot of people.
Sometimes you're gonna trust.
Yeah, oh yeah, at least there you're gonna trust.
So now, I guess post, right? You get out. How did you deal with people? Because I'm sure, like when you first got out, like people, maybe old friends, family, they were judging you. They were, oh, Antonio, the bad guy, you know? How did you deal with
drug
people?
Dealer?
How did you deal with people who doubted you or still judge you by your past?
You know what? A counselor told me once when I was going to the RDAP program. A counselor told me once, either your family accepts you for who you are, or they're not. And I understand what he meant by that every time. To this day, there's 2 brothers I don't talk to because we've always given them everything. Because we, you know, when we were drug dealing, they had everything.
You had money.
Give them cars, give them money, whatever. And when I got out, they were expecting the same thing.
For you to go back, take care of them.
Yeah. For me to give them money and shit like that. And I did. I actually, because I had like properties and stuff when I got locked up. And then when I got out, I sold them. And that's how I started like flipping little by little.
Yeah.
But for a little bit, I wasn't doing anything. I didn't know what I was going to do. And when I got out, they were asking me for money, and I gave them some. And then like, they weren't changing their life. They were still drinking and doing the same shit. I'm like, then they asked me to give for money. I'm like, I'm not giving them money. Fool. Like I already gave you like $7,000. And you didn't do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like, nah. Like I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? If not, I'm gonna run out. You gotta get money.
No, if anything, at that point, I would say that the people outside want to look out for you not to go back into those steps, right? 100%. Yes. So you're doing the program. You know, you went to a halfway house.
I went to a halfway house.
You know, how was that? Because I know, like, well, I wouldn't say I know, but they say that the system is built for you to go back to the and you shared us that experience, right? Like the guy that you were walking out, he's like, "Oh, I met you the first time when I came in," right? How did that work out? Did you have any temptation to go back into the old habits?
I didn't, because I think what helped me was I was in there for so long. Because I noticed a lot of people that only did 3-5 years, they were still messing around, like in there and in the halfway house. They were still doing stupid shit. I'm like, to me, I didn't understand it. But when I was really thinking about it, I'm like, if they would have given me 3 or 5 years, I wouldn't have learned.
You wouldn't have
I
learned.
would not learn. Nope. Because my thing was like, I'm gonna still do what I did when I get out. You know?
Especially since you didn't actually get caught, right? Someone snitched on you.
Yeah, they told on me. But it's because I did so much time, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just happy to be out. I was happy to be with my family. Like, the simple things in life, you don't know until they take them from you. When your freedom is taken from you, bro, like, I will be in there and I'll be like, I wish I had some ceviche. Like, small stuff, bro.
The smallest things, yeah.
The smallest things. Like, I wish I could eat this right now. And I think because of that, when I got out, I appreciated everything. Appreciate my freedom, my family. I was happy, bro. I was happy. I was taking the bus because I had my car when I got out. I was happy. Like, I was just...
Hell yeah. In there, you just want to give me some traffic. So give me some LA traffic. I don't
I didn't care. Yeah. And then my sister picked me up. She's been a huge support for me, my sister Marisa. And she went and picked me up. And she was like, you want to drive? I'm like, nah, I was nervous, bro. Nervous, even to get in the car. Like, it was weird. Like, I got in the car and I was like nervous. And she was driving and I was like holding on to the side of the door. And I don't know what that was. And I was like that for a while. It took me like at least 2 months to get used to being in the car. I wasn't even driving. Yeah.
Wow.
So that follows to my next question, right? Like, what was the hardest part of starting over, mentally, emotionally, or even socially?
I think trying to figure out what I want to do in my life. Because I knew drug dealing was an option anymore. I said, there's no way, no matter what, I'm not going to go back. Like, I already knew it in my heart. You know what I mean? But I was used to making a lot of money. So I was like, what can I do that I can still make a lot of money off of, but it's legal? And it's funny because I met Danny in there when I was like 6 months in. He came in. And then we were hanging out for like a good 6 months, a little bit more, until they sent me to the hole and then they shipped me somewhere else.
Okay.
So I didn't see Danny till I came back to originally the same prison and did the program. Danny was there again.
Doing the program as well.
Yeah, but he came in after me.
Okay.
So when I got there, I don't remember if he was already there or he came in again after me. But I did the program before he did. But when I seen him again, I'm like, oh, what's up, fool? We're like hanging out. And then when I got out, he ended up in the same halfway house as me too.
Oh, shit.
And then we had the same probation officer.
So it was almost like it was meant
It was almost like it was meant to be. So me and Danny were always in contact. And then I'm like, he was like, man, I'm trying to get into real estate. That's kind of like sparked a light bulb for me. I'm like, oh shit, real estate. I'm like, you can make a lot of money off of houses and stuff. And he got into it first, and I kind of followed him, you know. So for me, I was like, this is something I can do that's gonna make me a lot of money legally, and I go back to prison. So that's where my mind was at first. So I think that really helped.
And how was that? Because obviously selling, and by real estate you mean traditional sales, right?
Sales and flipping, because I sold a few properties when I got out. So I had money.
You had money,
I had a little bit of money to invest.
Okay.
You know. So I started looking at properties to buy. I just didn't know anything. I didn't know. Danny didn't know either. He just started. So, you know, I found a property that was pretty much falling down. And me and another partner of mine ended up building a new house there and selling it. So that's how I got my feet wet. And then the contractor that we hired, cool dude, he taught me a lot. Like I like working with my hands, so I was building it with him. Like I did the demolition with him and the workers. I did the framing with him and the workers. Bro, I was showing up every day working. Every day. From the beginning to the end, I was there every day working. So I learned a lot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's not, and it wasn't like something like, oh, I'm going to do it so I can learn. It's like, I don't have anything else to do.
Might as well.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm investing money and I love working with my hands. I'm like, so I started doing it and I learned a lot from him. And from there, and after that, I did another flip and like little like that. You know, I grabbed that money and used it for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how I kind of started with that.
So, and how long has it been more or less since you came out?
It's been, I got out in The middle in 2011 is when I was in a halfway house. So I did 6 months in a halfway house. So I got out the middle 2011, but I wasn't really free until like 2012.
2012. And
So
then
it's been like 13 years.
kind of like more or less from there. How long from there did you get licensed?
Kind of right away. I think like maybe like 2 years.
2 years. So you're looking at around 2013.
Yeah.
So
around there.
where I'm going with it is, it hasn't even been that long. It's been about 10 to 12.
Maybe even later, bro. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I was dabbling in it first without my license. Like I was flipping it without a license.
Yeah.
And then I got it after.
So the reason why I'm asking, bro, is because a lot of people, right now what we see of Tony is like, well, you buy 2-3 properties, at once. You have several jobs with your construction crew, but he's already got it made, But it's only been 10 years in the making, right? Or a little bit more.
But it took me long to get where I'm at. Like long. Like I didn't even think I was gonna even. Like, what the funny thing is that everything I've been writing about, and I learned from Thatch because of Danny. Danny was like, look, listen to this dude. So that's the first time I heard of manifestation. Like, I didn't know anything, And I started listening to Thatch a lot. And I started writing my AIDs and all that. And, bro, it was like years of me writing before I seen anything start happening, And even when I got into real estate to do sales, it was hard, bro. Like, people think it's easy. I'm going to get my license and be rich. Fuck that. It's hard. Like, I tell people, like, trying to get their license, get your license, you can make a lot of money, but you got to work. Like, you got to really work. Like, all the time.
They feel like it's selling sunset. No, man.
Yeah.
You show a couple houses.
That's what they want the license.
$20,000 check.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I was see, like, the New York one.
Oh, yeah.
Selling Manhattan, yep.
The New York or the millionaires or whatever of these they make it look easy, selling these $1 million condos and townhomes, and I'm like, I can do that. Like, no, that's a lot of work, bro.
Especially if we don't come from the background of real estate, it's a little harder. We don't know what comps are. We don't know what
we don't know
anything. We don't know sales, right? We don't know anything. But where I was going with it, Tony, is that 10 years, it might seem like a long time. It might seem like a little time for some people. But what I'm going is like 1 year is going to pass. 2 years are going to pass, 5, and then 10 years. But where I'm going is like 10 years, you can really change your life a lot, drastically. Yeah. And I would say and once you go on this path of, we call it self-discovery, even 3 years, you can do like incredible changes in your life. And I think we've seen them with each other, right? Yeah. Once you're very intentional with it. So although you haven't been out for that long, bro. If you really, it's been like 12, 15 years intentionally, maybe like 10 intentionally. So anybody and everybody can change their life, if
Absolutely.
they commit to.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And I think one thing, if I give anybody advice, it'll be have a relationship with God or higher power, whatever it is, and have good intentions with people. Like, try to help people, be kind to people. If you don't have anything nice to say to somebody, don't say it. You know what I mean? If you're feeling like grumpy today or whatever the fuck, just don't shit on someone else. Just, if you want to just ignore people and just go on your own way, it's fine. But, like me, what I've learned and what makes me happy now is like helping people around. Like anyone I can help with anything, it makes me happy. And I feel like it comes from my relationship with God. It comes from being around you guys. It comes from every morning when we check in to do our mastermind. Yeah. And I see everybody, they're reading and they're like, you're like dedicated, and I see your stuff, and like you gotta connect with God every morning to set you up for the day. And I feel like the more you connect with God, the more God starts putting good things in your life, good people in your life, and it starts going towards, like the path He wants you to go. Because if I look back at my life, I can see, and it's crazy because I can see every moment God was in my life, and I wasn't like a church-going person, and I wasn't like praying all the time, and I truly believe it was my mom's prayers, but I can look back and pinpoint the directions where God entered my life. I can see it. And it led me to where I'm at today, So just for me, it's connecting with God. And now that I'm getting older, bro, I'm 46. I'm going to be 47. And
you look really good for 46, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say you're like barely reaching 40. You look great, dude.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. I don't feel 40. Yeah. But I feel like now that I'm getting older, what I tell myself a lot lately is if I die tomorrow, am I happy? And I never used to think like that. Now I do. And I'm like, if I die tomorrow, am I happy? And what that makes me think of is like, what am I doing that's going to make a difference in someone else's life? You know? Because you can make a lot of money, but what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Like, you're not taking shit with you. You know what I mean? But who are you helping while you're here with your success? You know? And if you could change someone's life by just being there for them when they most need you, or they most need a hand, like, to you it might not be nothing, right? But to them, they're gonna remember for the rest of their life.
For sure.
You know, and they might learn something from it where they're gonna help someone else, you know, when they're doing better.
And with that said, prior prison and changing your mindset, you had an idea of success, what it was, right? Money, drugs, alcohol.
That's what I thought it was. Houses, cars.
So now, after everything you've been through, what does success mean to you?
So what success means to me is just continuing to try to better myself. Because the better I am, the better I am to people around me. For me, success is being a better human being and being a better person and contributing to society. And it sounds corny because you hear it sometimes, you know, whatever. But that's how I feel. Like, for me, it's who can I help? How can I be better today? Because you're never going to be perfect. I mean, you know, it's a lifelong thing. Like, you have to continually do it.
For sure.
Because I noticed the moment I stopped reading, even for a couple of days, like, I noticed my mood and I noticed my mindset, and I have to keep reading to put my mind in the same direction that I want to go. And like things I listen to, like podcasts or people I look up on YouTube, people that have came from where I came from. Like, I have to continually like look at stuff like that and read. I have to. If not, I start going back to my old ways. Not about drug dealing, but like just not bettering myself. You know what I mean? And for me, success is not even cars anymore or houses. It's nice to have those things, and I like it, but like that's not to me. To me, having a Ferrari doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, I go buy one, but it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean it's just at the end of the day, it's just a car,
it's
right?
Just a freaking car.
Yeah,
it's nothing. You know what I mean? If anything, I'm gonna think about how much I'm gonna waste on gas, how much maintenance,
insurance, right? Yeah.
I'm just like, nah, I don't need that shit, bro.
So, like, I mean, did you ever? And I know we were talking a little bit off before we got started, but did you ever think you deserve, you were worthy enough to live the life that you live today?
No, I wanted it, but I feel like I could never achieve it.
Fell so far, right?
I fell far. I feel like it's impossible, you know. And I always thought there was like a quick make money scheme, like win the lottery or like drug dealing or whatever. But now that like I've been through it, I'm going through it and hanging around people that are doing it, it comes from time, like time of working, but like working, and little by little you start accumulating stuff, you know. Like, I'm reading a book right now called The Psychology of Money. The Psychology of Money, that's what it talks about, that people build wealth over time. It's not one day to another. And it's failure after failure, and trying, just keep going and keep moving. As long as you keep moving forward, then eventually you're gonna get there. But you can't quit, you know. And I think for me, what changed my life is, even when I was out like trying to do flips and got into real estate doing sales, it wasn't going that well for me, and I'm just like, what am I missing? And I even like a little depression hit me for like a year or two. I was kind of lost, you know. Until I stopped one day and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna follow my heart. I'm gonna follow what I love to do. And it came from Steve Harvey, when he talks about he always talks about follow your heart. You know what I mean? And he said, the guy that loves cutting lawns, he goes, there was a kid going up. He used to like cut lawns. We used to make fun of him. He goes, but he loved doing it. And you know, we were kids. We were like, this was cutting lawns. We were here playing around, you know. He goes, now that guy owns a company that makes $5 million a year of landscaping. But the guy loved doing it, you know? So little messages like that of me hearing stuff, me writing my AIDs, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just follow my heart. I love flipping. I love like building. I love doing that stuff. The moment I give in to that, I feel like doors opened up for me.
Wow.
Like right away, a friend of mine, is a good friend, Alvin Mullins. He's a broker. He's been a broker for like 30 years. And I connected with him. He gets a lot of probates with these attorneys, and they fix the properties up for the whoever inherits the properties. Because these people usually that inherit these properties, they don't have money. And in order for them to make more money, they fix it up for them, and then they sell it to get top dollar, and then everybody makes money. You know, the attorney gets a lot of good reviews, the broker makes more commission, and then whoever fixed the properties up makes some money.
Yeah, and the heir makes a lot more money.
Yeah, and the heir
right?
makes way more. So instead of selling the property for, you know, $400,000, they end up selling it for $650, $700 because it's fixed up now. You know, so it's crazy because the moment I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just follow my heart and do what I love to do. You know.
Everything's
Yeah, he told me, hey, it's funny because I was sitting down with him when they were just chilling. And he was like, you know what, that guy we've been using fucking sucks. He's like, this guy, we've been giving him all these properties and he don't appreciate shit. Like, he was just complaining. And he was like, wait a minute, you flip properties? Why don't you help me? Like, that's what happened. And it, like that. Next thing you know, he started giving me a bunch of properties. So doing his properties and doing my flips, I started like, little by little, I started doing 2 properties, 3 properties, 4 properties. The most I've done is 5 properties in one time. And I never thought I can do that. You know, I'm like, shit, I could probably handle 2. But because they threw me in a situation where I had to do it, I figured it out. And it's funny because I was writing for a long time, bro. I was writing, oh, thank you, God, for these 10 properties I flipped this year. Thank you, God, for these 5 investments. Really cool. Thank you, God. I think God advance, you know, for when I pray. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And I was doing that for years. And then last year, I hit close to 30 properties of flips, which is mine and the ones he gives me.
Yeah, both, right? Both projects,
both.
Yeah.
And not until I finish them, because once you start like really getting busy, you know, like me, when I get busy, I just focus on what I'm doing. I don't think about nothing else. And not until like I look back, I was like, shit, I did a lot of properties this year. And I was writing about that for years, bro. And not until I started following my heart, everything opened up for me. And I'm like so grateful for everything now. Like everything in my life, I'm grateful for. Waking up in the morning early, like feeling good, drinking my coffee, like whatever. Being around my family, being around my girl, being around fucking my dogs, even though they make a mess sometimes. Like everything for me is just like, I'm so grateful. And I got a lot of support, bro. Like my girl, she supported me from the very beginning. And she's always like, you can do it. And she's never like discriminated against a dream I had or nothing, bro. She's always been there. My sister too. Like whenever I needed money for a flip or anything, she's always been there, bro. She's always helped me. So I had a lot of support in that sense.
Yeah.
And that really helped. You know, you need people that believe in you.
So I know, like, once you got into real estate, if they would have presented you these opportunities, such as your friend, the broker, or the attorneys, do you think you would have been able to handle these opportunities, or you prepared yourself to 10 years? So when these opportunities came, you were ready for them,
exactly.
Right?
That's what happened. I wasn't ready. Like when I first got out trying to do flips, if they would hit me with 2-3 houses, bro, I wouldn't even know what to do. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But it happened when I was ready.
It happened when exactly. So and that's where I was going, because a lot of us might be, you know, people are watching and listening that things probably are not going our way, but you know, there's various things, you know, like God is probably one. You're probably thinking you're not ready, or we haven't struggled enough, we haven't saved enough. So you know, what do they say that the opportunity? No, what is it that the teacher shows up.
Opportunities come when you're prepared for it.
Pretty much, when
I
the
feel
student
God
is
gives
ready.
it to you when you're ready for it. You know.
So these opportunities from your friends or from yourself, wherever you put yourself, because financially now you're ready to take on more projects, because it requires a lot of money to buy these properties, right? Yeah. And even the ones that you don't buy, construction, payroll, everything takes money, right? Yeah. And now that as you're ready, now like, hey, keep up.
Yeah.
But now you have a responsibility, because now you have, let's just say 5, 6, 10 people on payroll. Now you have the responsibility to keep them busy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, sometimes I find projects that I'm not making even much on, but just to keep my guys busy. You know what I mean? Because they work hard. I don't want to lose them. And they're good people. So I'm like, whatever I can do to keep them busy, I do it. Like when I have a gap in between these houses, because a lot of people always call me, hey, Tony, can you pay my house? Like, can you do this? And a lot of times I don't have time. But when I do have time, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. So I send my guys to do that stuff, or my sister uses them, or my boy like gives me the properties. He needs stuff on his house, so I keep them busy until I start doing my properties again.
You said follow your heart. That's Did you ever have any doubts or blockers? How do you overcame those blockers? Because it's easy to I wanted, like you said, a landscaping person, right? He probably loved landscaping, but he just had doubts that it wasn't gonna work out because either one, his surroundings, two, he didn't believe in himself, and he didn't feel he was worthy, right? So did you have blockers, and how do you overcome them?
You know what? And that's the thing, because I love doing it. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care if I wasn't gonna make much. I didn't care. It ended up not being about the money. It wasn't like how much I'm gonna make. It was more like, I love doing this. For me, this is not work. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I know I'll make something. I know I'll make something. Yeah. So even if I could pay my bills, it's fine. Whatever. But for me, I didn't feel like I was going to work. And I think that's where everything changed for me. Because I wasn't looking like, if I don't make this much on this property, I'm not going to do it. No, it was just like, whatever God gives me, I'm going to do it. And I loved it. I love bringing materials to the guys. I love being there. I love telling them what to do. And I love how it looks when you're done. You're like, wow. Like, there's properties I've done, bro, I'm like, I can't believe it looks like this. You know what I mean? When you're done with it. Because when you first see it, you're like, shit, how am I even going to, you got to envision how it's going to look at the end,
It sounds to me like you were never attached to the outcome, huh? Mm-mm. And that's what gave you more of it, because you're just, it's like when you have $100 and you just don't want to spend $100, you don't want to spend it, but you're blocking yourself from more money coming in because you're just stuck on these $100.
I think the first property I did for my boy, I think I made like $2,000, $3,000, and I think I spent like 20 to fix it and shit. But that's how I started looking at all my projects, like even my flips. I don't look at how much money I'm gonna make. As long as I know I'm not gonna lose, like as long as I'm getting it for a good price, I don't really care how much it's gonna sell for. Yeah. I know I gotta put in this much. I know regardless I'm gonna make money. Yeah. For me, I don't look at how much I'm gonna make. I'm just like, as long as I make something, I'm cool. Yeah. Because that helps me jump onto the next one. Correct. Like, I'm done with this one, next one. So whatever I make. Whatever God wants to give me, I'm fine with it. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm gonna shift gears. I know we're each other's environment now because we have similar friends. We hang out, not often, but we do see each other here and there a few times a year. How has your environment shaped you in a positive and in a growth and a not so positive as well back in the days, right? And because the podcast is all about your environment, your personal development. So how has it shaped you, and how important is it in your journey?
I think how it shaped me is it switched my mindset from money to who am I as a person with other people, and how am I bettering myself. So now I think it's not just about money. I think money is a part of it. It's nice to have, and it's nice to have nice things, but I look at it more like, who am I becoming as a person, and I think it helps me too to, when I talk to people, like I meet people, I know the people I know to stay away from, and the people I want in my life, and I do have, I have different relationships, I have friends and family that they're happy with the way they're living their life, and I don't judge. I'm like, it's cool. And I still talk to them. I hang out sometimes when they have parties, we'll go. But when I meet someone that's doing good things, or I admire, I'm like, shit. I focus on what they're doing and trying to live my life more towards that way. I don't know if that answered you.
No. It does in a way, but now it's like, well, that environment. How do you think your environment shaped you in your teens?
You mean from my past?
Yeah, both. So how important is environment in your journey?
Well, it's very important, because the way I grew up, I didn't know anything else, right? Your environment is gangs. It's drug dealing. It's like seeing these rap videos and all this money, and it's all about this and it's all about that. And then even the way you see women, you see women on these rap videos and the way they degrade women, that's how I used to think, And not until I got out of that environment and I got into actually being an adult, and seeing how life really is, I think that really changed me. So environment is very important, because what your environment is and who you hang around with determines who you're gonna be. Like, as simple as a diet. Like, when I buy food, I buy healthy stuff, because I know if I buy chips or buy stuff like that, I'm gonna eat it, bro. Like, I'm big on health, but if it's in my house, I'm gonna eat it.
If it's there, yeah.
Yes,
You know what I mean? So I can't have it in my house. Like, my girl buys it for her son sometimes, and
But
I
it's
do
there.
catch myself sometimes grabbing.
2 in the morning, huh? Getting LA.
No, that's exactly what I tell
Yeah.
my girl. I'm like, don't bring it. So I'm like, well, it's for me. I'm like, but if it's there, it's there. So
Yeah.
Pa la visita. And then nobody comes over.
Yeah, and that's how it is. It's like, if you're around it, I mean, eventually you're gonna try to touch it. You know what I mean?
What did they say? That you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself, right? So if you surround yourself with complainers, eventually you're just gonna, complain.
Yeah.
If you find yourself being the victim, and we see that a lot in our community, Latinos, Mexicans, that we find ourselves, we're the victims, right?
Yeah.
Especially a lot of nowadays, right? We're the victims because the government's not doing well or the economy's not doing well. Then I'm gonna do bad because we victimize ourselves for everything. So, and the more we hang around with people who don't have those goals, aspirations, then we're just gonna be just like them.
And I think we also we limit ourselves, right? We have to see a wider picture, step outside of the box. And it was funny because I was talking about yesterday at a gathering that I went to. Some guy started a business and a whole different career, right? And then we were just talking about the same thing, the culture, how we're so limited and how we set blockers. And I said, it's just like if I take driving into my actually goals and life and growth, like if a road is closed, like Yoni, right? I know he was here late, which no worries. But he figured out to get here.
Yeah.
He didn't park because the road was closed and waited for them to move the cones.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in life. If something is closed, what are you gonna do? Reverse, go around, and find your destination.
Yeah.
Not just, oh well, it's my fault because I didn't know it was closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another thing, Tony, is honestly it's very badass because I see some people that go do some time and they just come back into the old habits. So it took a choice. It was your choice of wanting something better, wanting something bigger. But what's next for Tony? Like, you already know that you beat in essence time in prison, because I think that could just break you down in your head and your emotions, everything. You beat through that. Obviously you're successfully flipping. You're successfully have your girl. You have a great family. What's going on for Tony? What's next?
Honestly, bro, I don't know. Like, I know I want to become better than when I am today in every which way. I think for me it's more, how can I take my business to another level? Because it's not about like the money. It's about, I believe in myself to achieve this other goal. It's like, because when I hit a goal that I aim for, it makes me feel happy. It makes me feel like believing in myself that I could do more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like if I don't challenge myself, I can get stuck, and comfortable in the same level. And for me, if I'm not growing, I'm not happy. In every which way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's just taking my business to another level, and also bringing my family along. Like, I have a lot of nephews and stuff that I want to bring into. I mean, we had this conversation before about one of my nephews, and it's like I want to bring them into the picture where I can start building like a family business. But sometimes they're not ready. Sometimes they don't see the vision. But I feel like when they are, I'll bring them in,
Yeah.
But I think for me, that, and then getting just closer to God, getting closer to God. I do a good job on mindset. When things happen, I catch myself right away thinking negative, and I turn it around, But I feel like for me, it's getting closer to God and getting closer to the people in my life, Again, like helping them like I do, but like, how can I really impact? You know what I mean? And I even got to a point where I'm thinking, I want to do some kind of charity, like have my own charity, but I want to really, I'm letting God give me the answer of what it is.
For sure. Yeah, for all we know, it could be teens and going into prison and helping them out, giving a little bit of wisdom. Because, like you said, money isn't everything, but I know if you give them a little bit of a thought, if you give it a little bit of thought of what is it gonna be, and then just like you showed us something. Let your heart just be the way, you know, the passion, whatever it is. And although money isn't something that, you know, I think it's something we aspire to have a little bit more, because that's how we gauge a lot of our progress in our business, right? Oh, we were doing 10 projects, now we do 30, now we do 50. It's just by default. But the more projects we get, the more people we're able to help out. Because again, like you said, we can't finish so much money. You know, you can only spend so much. At the end of the day, you still meal prep. An average is like $10 a meal, right? You can't go through millions of dollars. We live a pretty simple life. So I do believe, I like what you said. You're going more into the impact, your community, and then I think everything with the right reasons, intentions, and thought, actions will unfold just by default.
And I feel like, looking back, I've always been a good kid, bro. Like, not because, you know, it's me, but I think all our family is good, but me, I was so naive as a kid. Like, I seen people for who they were, like your heart. You know what I mean? I felt you were a good person, and I was so naive, and I learned a lot like that. Like, I got hurt a lot of times, backstabbed and stuff, and but I always had good intentions, and I feel like I truly believe if you have good intentions, good things happen to you. You know what I mean? And I wasn't like trying to get over on people. I actually had good intentions, and I always try to help people. And I feel like because of that too, God has, you know, I don't know, maybe it's weird, but I feel like God has given me good things or directed me.
I think so.
You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I could have easily ended up on the wrong side of the street, bro.
You know, and I think because he has a good heart as well, you have a good heart, you had those thoughts to yourself like, dude, I don't want this, right? I don't want this for myself. You know, it's you just deep down, that's not you, right? But you were just trapped on this environment. It's all you knew. You put that way.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, bro, it's follow your heart and have a relationship with God. You know, if it's not God, if it's the universe, whatever it is, just have good intentions. You know, you whatever you push out, it comes back to you, and I truly believe that. You push bad, it's gonna come back. You know, jealousy, no, it's not good. But if you push out good and you wish well on people, and like you genuinely like want to do good things will happen in your life. You know?
Is that a message you will send to anyone listening who think it's too late to change?
That, and don't compare yourself to other people. Like, we're all on different journeys, you know. Some people get there sooner than others. It's just, don't compare yourself. We're all different, and we're all going through struggles. And there's always somebody who's going to be doing better. Like, you can have $1 million, but someone has 10 million. And then if you have 10 million, someone has 50 million. And if they have 50, someone has... So it's like, it's never ending, you know. And that's another thing they talked in the book I'm reading, is there's always going to be someone that has way more money that's going to make you feel like you're broke, you know. And then Joe Rogan talked about it. He goes, Joe Rogan's worth like 250 million. He goes, but when Elon Musk walks in the room, I feel broke. Like, I feel like I have no money, you know. But again, it's just, you're comparing yourself, you know. And I think that steals happiness, you know.
Everything that you know, that you've been through, like, you know now, and what your goals and everything that you're heading to, what is one advice you would tell little Tony?
If I look back and I could tell myself something, is just trust. Trust that everything's going to be okay. You know, trust that you're good enough. Because looking back now, like, if I would have known that, it would have really made a difference in my life, on how I feel. It wouldn't have probably changed my, you know, my circumstances, but how I felt about myself would have changed. Because I felt unnoticed. You know, my mom, like I said, she had too many kids to worry about, where I felt like I wasn't noticed, you know.
For sure.
Yeah. Going to school, my parents weren't there. Like, you know, school plays, or I was never in sports. They had no money for sports. They couldn't put me in it. So I really felt I was unloved. Even though my mom showed me love, but I felt like, you know, I wasn't seen, you know. And that really made me hang around the wrong people who showed me a glimpse.
Showed you the love, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's deep. And mom is no longer with us, right?
No, mom passed away in 2020.
2020. And do you think now, looking back at everything you've done, at the good, the bad, the ugly, and the great, whatever you keep going out, think she's proud of you now?
I think she's very proud of me. Yeah.
Love that, bro.
Yeah, she's very proud of me, and I think my brother is too. The one that passed away.
Yeah.
We all are, brother. Just
Yeah.
hearing your story is like, damn. I'm glad I, like I know you and you're a part of my circle.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. You guys too, man. You help me out a lot. Seeing you guys every morning and how dedicated you are. Like when I start sleeping, I'm like, shit, fucking Yoni's been on this shit every day. I'm like, I gotta step it up. So it's good. Like when you start sleeping, you see, whoever's in front of you, and for me, it helps me, But yeah, I feel like too, my mom, my brothers has been helping me a lot. I don't know if you guys believe in that, but I feel like the people that we love that pass.
Spirits type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have an angel watching over you. That's why you see it.
For us Mexicans, we have a big tradition coming up, Dia de los Muertos, and that's what we do. We celebrate them that they're no longer with us, right? We celebrate them, and there are angels or guardians, and I'm pretty sure Mom and your brother have looked out for you.
Yeah.
And so, no, dude, I seen the growth. Obviously, I didn't know you, like, I think we've been knowing for like a good 5 years now. And I seen the growth. I see the growth. Something I do like respect and I like a lot about you is your calmness, right? Things could be like freaking se están cayendo.
That's what my girl says.
Like, you're just so calm. But sometimes you need that calmness because someone like me, I want to jump the gun quick, right? And you're like, I do believe God gave you 10 years of wisdom in prison because maybe you were very different before, right?
I was.
And that just gave you because imagine with money and everything and impulsive, no, we probably do stupid shit. So you really have a powerful story. I want to keep sharing your story. For the people that are watching or listening, share it. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and everything that comes with it. I know you're buying, fix, and flip properties as well, right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people know. We buy, and the other people have came here. But how do people get a hold of you?
I have Instagram and Facebook, and I need to start posting more. I know you told me like you guys are posting more and I do sometimes, and then I stop. But that's something I'm gonna start doing a lot more of. And I feel like I don't post that much because I feel like I don't want to brag. I feel like I'm bragging.
Yeah.
But I remember once you told me, don't look at it that way. Look at it like you can inspire somebody.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because if I just came out of prison and I hear like, damn, this dude Tony, like he did some time too, and he's doing that already. Like, I'm just gonna follow your story, and I'm probably gonna send you some message. Hey, bro, I want to get started, and you're probably gonna be one, too busy to respond. Two, you're gonna give me some words of wisdom. But at the end of the day, it's just a 50-50 shot that I could just share a little bit of story, and it's gonna take my own time because I'm gonna have to go battle my own kind of insecurities and my own development. But I know, like, if this fool can do it, I can do it, right?
If I can do it, anybody can do it, bro. It's just I'm not that smart, believe me. It's just like I said, everything takes time. So just be patient. And I think my patience too comes from I've always been like this. I was a kid, but at the same time, I've been through so much, bro. When it comes to arguing or fighting with somebody, I'm too lazy, bro. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with this person. You know what I mean? For the first conversation I'll have with you, the first few moments, and I'm trying to make you see something, and you're fucking complaining, and you're this, you're not gonna see it. So I'm like, okay, you're not ready in my mind. I'm just like, all right. I'm just like, I'm not gonna argue with you. It's just even my girl too. When she starts getting into it with me, I'm just like,
take a deep breath. Yeah, I can relate to you in that for sure, and it's powerful. Yeah, dude. We would love to see more of your socials because, like you said, right? Like you just never know what it can. That's how I started. That's how I came across Yoni, right? Because I just saw what he was doing. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, and that's a struggle. That's one thing I struggle with, reaching out to people, because I feel like I'm bothering people when I'm not. Because if people call me, I love helping. So that's kind of a struggle I need to break, where I need to start, calling people. And
I think Mark Cuban said this the best for me, and I understood it. It's like the people that been there and that you ask them for advice, they're happy to tell you. And you just said that right now. When people ask you, dude, you're happy. Oh yeah, you do this and this and this. Something very similar. I do feel that we've been programmed as well, or maybe because we see a lot of people in the real estate that they do brag or they do. Maybe we feel like we come off that way. But if our heart is really just there to kind of inspired, I think that's where it comes out. And the reason why I especially you, Danny, I encourage you to post more, because I sometimes don't connect with people that much because we don't see, because we're busy, we have lives, we have businesses, etc. But at least I connect like that. I was like, oh Tony, you have a house down there? Oh, that's badass. Let me know what it does. Or like, oh Tony, you were in Havasu this weekend. Shit, I'm gonna be out there. I just feel like that's a way to connect since we're so busy. And now, as obviously as we keep growing, we become a bigger influence on people, and it's a little harder to make time to meet with every one of your peers, everyone. So at least we connect ourselves a little through social media, right?
Yeah, through social media, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely start posting more. I know a lot of people telling my girl too. She's like, you gotta start posting more stuff. I'm like, all right. But
yeah, you have a powerful story, man, and looking forward to that.
Rapid,
should we get to the rapid fire?
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, so we only got I mean, you see our podcast, the rapid fire is just 2 words. You choose which one you like or you prefer. So we'll start off with books or podcasts.
Podcast, and about books, Audible. So what I do is when I read books, I'm listening to the Audible at the same time. As I'm reading it, I have the Audible in my ear.
So much faster. Huh?
That helps me read more.
High risk, high reward, or slow and steady?
Slow and steady, definitely.
Crypto or stocks?
A little bit of both. So one thing I learned from Mark Cuban when I hear him talk, he said, invest in stocks and forget about the money you're going to invest. So pretty much invest very little. So if you lose it, doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference in your life. But if you don't and it grows, shit, you got more money there. So
makes sense. Impact or income?
Impact or income? What do you mean?
Like, do you rather get the cash flow like right away or just make a difference on someone?
I think if I could do both. Right? So when I do my projects, like we beautify the neighborhood, people make commissions, workers make money, and you make money. So
it's funny because so far nobody has explained it like that. It makes sense. Yeah. I like your take. Resistance or flow?
Flow.
Truth or peace?
Truth can be peace. I prefer peace, but it has to be truth to it, right?
First comes the truth and then comes the peace. Yeah, I like that. Football or football?
Bro, I think I watch both of them the same. I don't watch that much football.
Well, at least you watch Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. I get into it when I'm there. Like if I go to your house and watch the soccer game, I'll get into it. You know, but I won't.
The next one was reading or audible, but you already said it, right? You do both. So La Chancla or timeout room?
La Chancla, bro. Always. With Mexican mom, bro. Across the room, she would hit me in the head with that shit.
Boxing or UFC?
UFC. It used to be boxing.
Same.
Rancheras or hip hop?
Both. I have my stages. Like I'm driving in the freeway. Sometimes I'm just fucking ranchero, bro, like straight Mexican paisa, and then the next thing I'm listening to Ice Cube and shit.
Too short, right?
Depends how you're feeling in the morning. Yeah. Cool. I mean, that was just for us to get to know you a little more and the audience, obviously. Just so I guess to conclude, any final advice or something you got for the
words of wisdom? I would say.
For me, what helped me is to stop drinking. I think when I got like mental clarity, it cleared up a lot of stuff that I was struggling with. You know, makes me feel better. I can think better, and like I still drink every once in a while, like a little bit. I have a few beers with close friends, but I had stopped drinking for 2 years straight. So I feel like sobriety for me is huge now. And at the end of the day, just being okay with yourself or where you're at. You know, like love yourself more. You know, I learned if I love myself more, I'm more at peace and I'm more in love with my life and the people around me. You know?
I love that. If you love yourself, you can even love better to others, right?
And that's powerful.
No, that's good.
That is.
Well, guys, if you guys haven't subscribed, shared, liked, everything, Tony has a great story. We'll put his handle, his contact info, so you guys can send him some deals, agents, wholesalers, and anybody.
I'm always buying.
Always buying. So Thank you, Tony. Daniel, congrats on your last marathon.
Thank you,
I know
thank
you
you.
just did. You signed up for LA Marathon as well already?
Yeah, I did already.
Yeah, so congrats, bro. I know
Thank you.
that's tough. We were talking about it right now, so that's tough. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
If you guys haven't, again, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you,
See you
Daniel.
guys.